guys, welcome back to Clockwork Noodles for the last time of Shadow's House. The final episode number 12. Did you know that season 1 had 13 episodes? They could have given us an extra one, but I guess this is the perfect place to end the anime. Before we get going, make sure you guys are subscribed. My full 2022 breakdown is up. Go check it out. What am I breaking down on the channel? What is coming your way? What new animes do we have to get excited for over the colder months? What are you going to be snuggling up to? Make sure you guys go check it out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in every single week. You guys have been absolutely amazing to talk to. Shadow's House is one of my favourites. I really love this anime. There's so much good stuff going on. And we're barely scratching the surface right now. We're barely started. I really hope we get a season 3. I've not heard any information. If you do find out, let me know because I am all over season 3. If it comes out, I'm breaking it down on the channel too because I'm so excited for it. I think it's time to break up the last episode number 12, following the amazing episode we had last week, because again, that was a high. That was an amazing ending. Edward is now panicking, tries to gloss over everything we're saying, forget what you saw. What is his punishment gonna be? I am very nervous because I do low-key like him. I think he's a cool character, but at the same time, I don't think it's gonna end well for him. Ollie. And mega props to Ollie for trying to protect the Starbearers by saying, well, it happened over on your side. It's nothing to do with us. Leave the Starbearers alone. I do like Ollie. I think I low-key also like Ollie. I think he's a great character. There are so many fantastic characters in this anime. It's very hard to pick my top few. I lost my shit, guys. I screamed. I might have been happy crying. Master Robe appeared. The only person it could be is Anthony. Of course it was him, because what happened to him? We don't exactly know what happened. They didn't exactly cover what happened to him. We just presumed he turned into a veiled doll and that was it. But I actually squealed so hard. I was absolutely happy to see him just sat there. It seems that he might have been working alongside Mary Rose. There is some doubt thrown upon this by Kate debating this factor, but I am still so happy to see him alive, looking as hot as ever. He has heard everything. He was there the night that Kate battled Mary Rose, and apparently he doesn't share quite the same view as Mary Rose did. She realised that she wasn't going to get anywhere and accepted her fate to end it all. He doesn't support because he wants to cause a rebellion, which Anthony is a fighter, and I am on Team Anthony, but I am very sus. I do have some suspicions around him at the same time, but he does seem to hold a bit more of a progressive view where he actually wants to change things. He doesn't want to just let things be or have a silent rebellion. To be fair to Mary Rose, I don't think she had much of a choice. I think she couldn't see a way out. Time pretty much was ticking. She gave up because she couldn't see a way forward, so I can't fault her for that. We do also get the information that Mary Rose and Rosemary are not dead, and this is why I never proclaim a death until I see a body in the anime. I'm never convinced by these things. I didn't think they were dead. I thought there was a possibility they would ride a phantom over the walls, but we've actually got them having a phantom to catch them as they fell. Kate was the one who added the soot for them, and that's absolutely amazing. I don't know how she did that. Anthony as well also gave them some food. They're alive, but they are now down in the moat, I'm guessing. I don't know if they can get out from there. Maybe at some point in the later half of the story they will return, forget all about them, and then they'll come up at a later date, saving our team at a point where we thought there was no other way out. I really hope that's the case. But Anthony is very impressed with Kate because Kate never gave up. As he states, well, I couldn't do a great deal because I am human. I am very limited in my actions. He doesn't have soot powers. Why he didn't do a great deal? The big question which makes me very sus: how did he actually escape? Because he came back and informed everybody that Christopher had committed suicide. Why was he allowed back? Lots of suspicions around there. Kate as well debating, well, should we accept this offer? Because there's a lot sus. She also said that she never heard Rosemary mention the fact again. Is this just because he apparently asked her not to mention it? As a little bit sus as well. You'd think she might want to let something slip. At the moment, we don't know if she's joining him, but I really hope so because this will allow us to free the children's ward and maybe have an uprising at some point later in the story and actually give us a climax to aim for. But yes, I am very suspicious of Anthony. Where did he vanish to? Because there's no exit in that room. I did at one point have a theory that he was using the clocks, that Master Robe's likeness was seen in the clock, similar to like Harry Potter where they use the pipes to get around. He's a human. He's essentially going to get soot sickness, so I'm not quite sure how he's travelling around just yet. Another fantastic twist where Emilico finally gets a dream of her human life. We get a brief look if this is the outside world, of what it's like out there, and it's wildlife. It seems to be a quaint wooden little house in the country somewhere. And this is the week where Emilico starts to act very differently. She's finally getting a bit of a character evolution because she starts to realize that she's suffocating, that she's doing the same routine over and over again. You're simply just marching towards your death. She starts to fret over those trivial things, but trivial things is technically the things you want to be fretting over because it's going to stop you dying. This week we start to see the aftermath of losing a member of the team. We're now down to a team of 3. Sarah getting excited, thinking she's going to be the next leader. But I think that's going to be an issue at some point as well. But we do see the way of the ward, that a new member has been introduced to the children's ward. Any removal of any child ends up with a replacement so quickly. It's just like a day later we have a new child. Does make me wonder how they achieve this, because I know they steal kids and then they bring them to the house. How do they get just one child? What happens to the other 3 that you've taken away? Is there a team waiting in the wings to also join them? And that's when I was debating if there was a set number of dolls and faces that they could have in the house at one time. That number is given to us in the end credits by Kate. It's 50, which shocks me. Wonder how quickly people are going up to the main house. A lot of my thoughts as well are just me thinking to myself, because I realise if I get answers, it's going to be spoilers. Emilico starts to think about the veiled dolls. How many are there? These are the people who have lost their masters and things have gone horrifically wrong. How long the situation's been playing out for, how many veiled dolls, how many people have failed to make it to the big house. We do get to see Emilico pulling some really interesting faces this week. She actually pulls a face whilst thinking about all of this. It's one of the faces which really shows her to be broken and a little bit helpless. She starts to really look stressed and a bit de-stressed over everything that's going on. Cleaning Kate is coming to the rescue. I'm happy because this shows a turning point in Kate's character. She has changed with all of her experiences to want to make Emilico happy, to see her as an equal. We will eat at the same table. We will clean together. Let's take a quick look at the bigger picture. All debuts and invitations are postponed. This is the cover-up that Edward has chosen to go for now, because we are fixing the worn-down sections of the passageway. And that makes you question, who's doing the mending? Who does all the fixing? Do we get people in from the outside world to fix the broken bits? Or do you use the veiled dolls or something? Do the shadows even do it? The adults must know everything by this point, so maybe it's the adults who do the fixing. Who is team maintenance, basically? Time to get the teams reevaluated, as it's been stated. 4 is the magic number, and we can't have teams of 3 floating around. Sad point, we do have a casualty this week. It is twins no more. The bells are no longer bells, they are just the bell. Isabel is the only surviving twin. Mirabelle has been disposed of, so she's either dead or she's a veiled doll. I do wonder as well if this is more a death because of the amount of soot they were inhaling, the amount of stress they were going through. I'm sure that probably did actually kill her off. Kate is promoted to team leader. I did call this. I 100% called this because all this season we tried to get Kate to make an impression. The whole season was basically low-key geared at her trying to make waves with the Starbearers, improve her standing with the Starbearers, and it was her who helped catch Mary Rose to the Starbearers. This is her fulfilling a promise. She said to them, I will do this, and she did, so she came through. But I also see it as a bit of a cage. Is it a cage to help keep her a bit more under closer inspection, because she's going to have to toe the line, and it might be easier to work out if she is rebellious or not, because Edward still had her monitored in his sight. He saw her as suspicious. He's now suspicious of Barbie/Barbara. I also don't think Barbara and Barbie are going to be allies at any point. But Barbara states she has high hopes for Kate, and Kate will become her advisor. Barbara is my favourite. Out of the 2, Barbara is my favourite. I think Barbara is an amazing character. Barbie has fallen in my rankings, and yes, I understand why she's doing the things she's doing, but I can't help but admire Barbara for the way that she has high hopes for Kate, and she's actually sticking to what she promises. She promised that she would help give me the culprit. She's fulfilling her own bargains as well, so I do like Barbara. I think she's a fantastic character. But it is also time to have some turbulence incoming, because a certain person, Mia/Sarah, are very unhappy with the news. I do also notice Mia looks a little bit like Edward. Eventually you're going to reuse designs and things, but she's got the same kind of look, the same kind of face, and the shadow is also wearing the garish patterns that is very similar to Edward. And I do wonder if out in the big world, out in a big village, they were maybe related. I just feel like as soon as she was pulling the face where she was looking very angry at the conversation going on between Barbara and Kate, it reminded me of a young Edward sitting there. So maybe she's the Edward of the team. And Milako, all happy about Kate being promoted, then suddenly the realization that she's now the new team leader is absolutely hilarious. Traumatized shell of what is Isabel. I can't blame her for being traumatized, but it does in my head ring. Is Belle broken or is she unbrainwashed? Because she remembers things, and if she was brainwashed, would she really be reacting like this? Being flushed by a lot of water. Similar to Emilico, are they both unbrainwashed? But Mia is not in support of Emilico, and this week she makes sure she really understands that she's not in support of it. Even after we see Emilico going the extra mile, wake up early, get organised, I will do the cleaning, you don't have to worry about it. Belle, what's going on with her? If she is really traumatised, she has to be reacting to something. Barbie, oh my goodness. I'm in such high standing with Barbara right now. I love her. But Barbie, I do not love. You guys know how much I love Emilico. I love Emilico so much. Us seeing Mia demanding for the disposal of Belle because she doesn't understand it's a death sentence. If she realised what it actually meant and she wasn't brainwashed, she would not be calling for the death of somebody. Emilico knows the truth, is why we see Emilico doing something that I didn't think I'd see. It's the fantastic look of determination when we actually see her standing up. We end on a bit of a character high when it comes to Emilico, of her showing an emotion we haven't really seen. Quickly noting that Barbie is wearing her badge. It must be a turning point for this character because she wasn't wearing it because she didn't feel worthy, but now she must feel worthy. Maybe she feels worthy because she handed over Mary Rose. I did my role. I stood up. I did the right thing. Maybe she feels like she's got rid of a bad element and she's done her role towards the house. Yeah, as soon as she started kicking Emilico, I hated her. Anger inside me raising because I love Emilico to pieces. When Emilico stands up for her team, Barbie looks really shocked because we've never really seen Sunshine showing this beautiful look of determination. Emilico swears that she will never lose another team member. Something also jumping to mind before we go to my final sequence is Belle now has 2 Shadow Masters. They haven't got rid of the second Shadow, which is weird. I do wonder how they're going to fuse. Are they suddenly going to have split personalities? Will the 2 shadows go inside? Will she basically be the Belle, literally, because she'll have 3 Bells within her, which is really, really weird. End credit sequence. Mary Rose's flower is on Kate's desk. She's alive. I am really happy she's alive because it allows us to sideline her for now with the hope of her coming back as an ally later in the story if she's able to get back. She might be able to go to the outside world. Maybe she'll go to the village. Maybe she'll inform them what's going on. Maybe she'll be able to start a rebellion over there. All within the realms of possibility right now. Now, Kate gives us the number 50. 50 kids live within the house right now, but we only see on the board 10 teams are technically filled in. 40 kids accounted for, 4 star bearers. Don't know where the other 6 are. Unless she's also counting my boy Anthony, but I doubt it. Kate and Emilico facing Barbara and Barbie. One hell of an ending. It's not a cliffhanger. I'm thankful that we're not waiting on a cliffhanger or anything. Shadow's house is wrong. Fantastic. You can't sum it up any better. An amazing point to leave this season. This season as well has gained a slightly higher mark than the first season, so that makes me very, very happy. Will we accept Anthony and will we have him as an ally? We've got some very big questions for Anthony, like how is he moving around undetected? How did he escape? This is the most key point right now because I'm very sus. Surely the adults know he is unaccounted for. How did Christopher really end his life? If they did it in the box and maybe somehow he got Anthony out, that might be a different situation. But it also seems that maybe somebody's playing a game in the higher house. Maybe Anthony was spared, or maybe he is fused and he's just not showing us Christopher right now took his life, but we have no evidence of this. And as you've seen with Mary Rose and Rosemary, I'm not exactly going to accept a death until you show me a body. We've not seen Christopher's demise, and sure, they might not be wanting to show us because it's a suicide. I'm suspicious. Maybe he is fused and maybe he's there to weed her out. Maybe he's testing her. There's a lot of suspicion around Anthony. He really is just a mystery, as Kate says. How is Kate going to join allies? We see that Emilico needs to impress Mia. There's a now turbulence amongst the group. Mia is angry. Mia and Sarah believe they are the rightful rulers and they don't see Emilico as worthy as a leader, laying into her for every tiny little thing. Now Emilico is refusing to get Belle disposed of. That's going to anger her even even more. Emilico needs to somehow fix Belle. With her outburst, as impressive as it really is, did it also hint to everybody in that room she has broken her brainwashing? The way that she was talking and everything kind of hinted that she might be thinking beyond what is acceptable for a living doll. Now, Barbara wearing her medal, meaning that perhaps she has found herself worthy of wearing it. What is Edward's fate? How did the main house take the news of what has occurred? What's going to happen to him? Mary Rose and Rosemary are now free, so what's going to happen next? Overall, a fantastic second season. I've enjoyed it. I love the music. I love the air. I love the characters. There's so many unique different characters in this. The lengths they go to some characters giving them 2 voice actors. I like this. Showing us that they are unique. They are 2 different people. We've had some more deaths along the way. So much going on in this anime. It's a mystery. It's a mystery where I don't know where we're going. But if we join with Anthony, the ultimate goal is to have everybody rising up and finally uprising against the adults. But that's going to be very difficult because we've seen Friar Edward how powerful he really is, so there's such a gap between them. Kate wants to get stronger, Anthony is going to help, but I also don't see how he's going to be able to train her because he has no shadow powers, unless he's lying and Christopher is actually inside him. Big sus to him. Now, what am I giving this anime out of 10? I'm giving it an 8, and it's actually going to be one of the higher scores I've given out this season. A lot of scores I've given out have actually been 5s, 6s, and mainly 7s. 8 to me is one of my highest ones. Shadow House to me has really pulled through. Season 2 has been amazing, only giving me more questions than answers. We've got more characters introduced. I really can't wait to see where we go. Hope we get a season 3. I am praying for a season 3. Big thank you to you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been absolutely amazing. You guys have been fantastic to talk to. I really hope I get to see you in another video for the next season. Make sure you check out the video and let me know if you're coming across, and I'll be seeing you again next season. I really hope so. Thank you guys so much. And for the final time from Shadow's house, goodbye guys.